President Joe Biden is granting clemency to 37 of the 40 federal inmates facing death sentences, with their sentences being commuted to life without parole.
So the 3 inmates not receiving clemency are the convicted murderers, one in the Tree of Life synagogue shooting, that being Robert Bowers, then the shooter at Mother Emanuel Church in Charleston, Dylan Roof, and finally the Boston Marathon bomber. Meantime, President Joe Biden is planning to head to the U.S. Virgin Islands to celebrate the holidays. He has one more international trip, that being to Italy, on his calendar before his term ends.